I hope y'all like it. I I doubt this will get too much considering it's a Rise video and not a Wild video, but c'est la vie. Just what I felt like playing. If I'm gonna play games, might as well record them and stuff, throw them on the internet. Oh,
Chicheretu, Ture Nurag, Tore Luki.
I think this is. I think I might have one more spin for Japanese. My volume isn't turned too high, so I don't mic audio, which also may not be very high, so I may have a hard time carrying me in the first place. Look at that, she's fine. She's fine. She got up, she's moving, good. Just pumped her full of steroids. Gave her that Resident Evil 7 steroid stuff that has no negative consequences. She is also tripping balls. In all seriousness, this is very sweet. And I do appreciate Sunbreak making an attempt at a more emotional story, I guess. I don't know. World story wasn't bad. None of the Monster Hunter stories are bad. They're just there. I was a big fan of Try's story, but I'm a big fan of Try's everything because that's just my first Monster Hunter. It's like your first Final Fantasy. It's just what you're a fan of. Bahari's very eccentric, but I kind of like him. And I believe that man's name is Tadori. The counterattack. That's what he says. Yeah! Oh, and this is probably my favorite line of his. Glad to have you back, Fia. You'll be happy to hear that you getting stabbed and poisoned ended up being quite beneficial to us. I love it. Let's get to the rest of this dialogue. Asking us to fight Malzeno. Maybe the demo for that. Anyway, I've talked enough. Thank you guys for watching. I greatly appreciate it. And I hope you guys have a good day. Alright. Just take a second to upload those other videos. First, two. Split that one thing into two videos. I'm taking a page out of Fighting Cowboys. Else I want. Not really. Let's go straight from Malzeno. First. All right. We'll get back into it. How's he now? Just followers in this quest. I believe that is because of the scripted sequence for Pyoing. If I'm pronouncing it right, I believe I am. Let's see. me see. Give me 1 second. Alright. Just tried something different. Instead of speaking directly through the controller, we'll try using this microphone. I hope it is better. We can finally go hunt Malzeno, the Scourge of the Seas, or the Kingdom. Vampire monster. I believe he was getting a lot of Morbius jokes, because I think it came out around the same time. Please forgive me for the coughing. I have a lot of acid reflux, and my diet does not help that. These cutscenes are a pretty cool addition. On top of the already cool cutscenes we get in normal Monster Hunter, now we get... they're like bedtime stories that the villagers tell their kids about these crazy monsters. It's pretty cool. It's also a huge plus that you can pause them and /or skip them, which it has overworld. It's one of my main reasons why I prefer to go back and play this game instead of World, which I would love. God, I would love to go back and play Monster Hunter World, and I go on it every now and then, but compared to this game, the loading is just much longer. You cannot pause the end game. Like this game added the pause game, which was in Generations Ultimate and some of the older ones. The fact that you can't pause it, the fact that the cutscenes are unskippable. World just has a lot of like little things that add up, which sucks because I love it to death. I remember playing the crap out of World when it came out. I was so excited. And Wilds did better in terms of like cutscene skipping and also being able to pause the game even when online. It did take a couple steps back. Unfortunately, I have not gone through the trouble of trying to link up a party on Wilds. Though I did hear through Maximilian Dude's stream that it is very difficult to play online in like a group of people. Like from what I hear, I have not tried it myself. But yes, it is unfortunate. Though I am happy that I can pause Wilds and skip cutscenes. The story is very much more in-depth, which I do appreciate, but at the same time, I don't play Monster Hunter. Oh crap, I broke my sword shield. I meant my great sword. It's unfortunate, because I do not play Monster Hunter for the story, which, you know, very unpopular opinion, right? I appreciate the attempt that a better story was crafted, and the idea that you can skip it is also amazing. But also, I don't know, it's weird. Anyways, this is Malzeno. He introduces Blood Blight and gives you the very athlete. As far as Blood Blight, you have to. It's the Bloodborne rally mechanic where you have to attack to get your health back, but also to just get rid of the status in general, which is also reminiscent of the Fury virus from 4. Ooh! Never mind, I am not regretting bringing Sword and Shield. The soundtrack's pretty good too. Something I've been interested in doing is going back to play some of the older Monster Hunter games. Like I said, I started with Try, and then played 3 Ultimate, 4 Ultimate, so on and so forth. Oh, that hurt. I have played the original Monster Hunter on PlayStation 1, which I'm sure you've heard a lot of different things about it.
Max did a stream where he played it. I was also a big fan of the YouTube. I don't know how to pronounce his name. It's like Xeroic, might be a Pokemon reference. But he did a full playthrough of Monster Hunter 1. Fully edited as well, compilation style video. I think it was really good. What the heck is it doing? Oh, we mounted. Oh, I see. But Xeroc's videos on Monster Hunter 1 I thought were really cool. It was also just really interesting to see how he navigated that game. I believe he also is playing through 3 Ultimate and stuff as well. I was more interested in the Monster Hunter 1 style because it was like, I don't know, it was just really almost like a survival video, like Minecraft or something. It was interesting to see how he, navigated getting all the materials, all the stuff he needed. It was very cool. I would highly recommend his videos. Like at the Malzeno armor. But I have played Monster Hunter 1. But Dose is interesting, as I've also mentioned before, Jacob's video. I'll also be interested in playing some of the portable games, like, let's see, what's it called? I guess Freedom Unite. I don't know if that would be considered one of the portable games. Portable Third I'd be interested in. I was, some years ago, when I was going down the Monster Hunter rabbit hole, as a special interest, as you do when you're autistic with ADHD, I found a podcast of, they call it a Teamwork Cast. You guys may have heard of it. I was a big fan of their stuff. Just the podcast style videos. Man, just whenever I had to go out and do chores and stuff, it was awesome that I could just listen to someone talk about Monster Hunter. Just develop the knowledge. But I loved their stuff. They played, I think it was a lot of Try, and then 3 Ultimate, and 4 and stuff as well. And I'm pretty sure they don't do stuff anymore. I don't know about the other members. Shepard was one of the members. I believe he's still, I haven't checked his stuff in a while. Last I checked, he was still making Monster Hunter style videos. More speedrunning kind of stuff. He's been more on the professional side. But the other members, I'm blanking on the names. One was named Christian. I cannot remember the other name. But they were both, it was just an all-around fun time. I highly enjoyed their content. Got me through a lot of lawn mowings. There's a lot of good Monster Hunter style stuff. I was a big fan of like the pre-world content. Once Monster Hunter got popularized, it's still really good content, and I do enjoy it. But I always enjoyed the more niche aspect of it. I don't know. It's very strange. I like Rurikon as well. His Third Fleet podcast he does with Gaijin, I believe he still does, is really cool. I don't watch Rurikon's stuff too much on its own. It's not that he's got good content, it's just not for me, I guess, Or it could be perhaps that just at that point I was just kind of had enough of the Monster Hunter content. Because I've been playing this since I was like 11, like since Try. Now I'm 25. It's crazy. It's crazy to see how the games have evolved over the years. Oh god. No, this isn't a bad one. We're good. I remember when the demo for Sunbreak came out, this fight was infamous. Very much similar to the Magnamala fight from Rise, and the Nergigante demo fight. Something else I just remembered, when I was playing Wilds for the first time and came across Jin Dahad, I thought that was really cool. Very much of a nod to Sathajiva, Cult Taroth stuff. And not so much Electron, mainly a Sathajiva more than anything else. Also had like little MMO mechanics like the aggro bar. Ugh. In Rise, I was iffy on as far as like if I liked it as much as the other ones for a while. Mainly because I was hesitant about the wire bug mechanics. Really cool, but I dug the more grounded aspect of Monster Hunter a bit more. But then I started looking at it like, how do I explain it? I mentioned before I'm a big fan of Max Dude's content. And he likes fighting games and stuff. And once I started looking at Rise as more like a fighting game and like just actually like utilizing all the mechanics and all the like cool stuff you could do, that made it that made me enjoy it a lot more. Speaking of enjoying it, I am getting absolutely lambasted right now. Probably didn't have much more life in it. I think it's Monster Hunter language. I think that's what this is on. I'm pretty sure that's what we're doing here. We're gonna do a quick parkour up here. I remember the first trailer for Rise when I saw the wire bug being used. And of course, it got a lot of like Breath of the Wild stuff. You know, like everybody's like, oh, it's Breath of the Wild now. And yeah, and like the Traverse one stuff. Speaking of Breath of the Wild, I've tried so hard to get into that game and Tears of the Kingdom. But it's also a similar case of like, it's just too open for me. I like the mechanics. I like all the cool speedrunning stuff. Like I've seen the YouTuber Small Ant. I've seen a lot of his stuff on it. And that's been very interesting. But it's just too open for me and stuff. And the combat isn't as in-depth as like a Monster Hunter game. I'm very spoiled by Capcom's fighting games. Or just like single-player like action games. Character action games like Devil May Cry. Monster Hunter, of course, which has just been my go-to. The combat in Zelda just wasn't doing it. And obviously that game was more about the exploration than anything else, which is great. You know, that's really awesome. It's just I'm not a big fan of exploring that much, I guess, if you can call it. Like I don't mind it. But I don't know, there's just, I don't know, maybe it's a stim thing, having combat and stuff. Or it could just be an ADHD thing, who knows. Might just be a personal preference. I think I almost got him. I was saying earlier how I first got introduced to Sword and Shield, or got into it in Iceborne because of the Perfect Rush. Because I just thought it was the coolest thing ever. And I remember seeing how much damage it did for the first time. I was like, this is the best thing ever. Oh my god. Because usually I'm a big fan of Greatsword. Greatsword's amazing. Especially in Wilds, being able to change the trajectory of your charge slashes is nice. But Sword and Shield just always felt like that all-rounder, like, alright, if I'm having trouble with this monster or whatever, I can always bring Sword and Shield. It was always that, like, thing I could always bring in. For a while it was Gunlance, and that was like my oh, I'm getting messed up, use the Gunlance, because it's got defensive. But with the Sword and Shield, you don't really have to, I was going to say dodge to, oh god, we got company. Do you guys have a turf warrior? If they do, they're not showing it. I got it. Oh god. Alright, here we go. Munagron, boss fight. Brought to you by Malzeno. Get some extra materials here. I'm not used to doing wyvern riding too much in the in-game. Especially on the Switch, because you've done it so much, and at that point you have way too many materials. Which is something I'm still getting used to for new Monster Hunter. I remember in the older games, like, you just always had, like, less of materials than you needed to. Unless you were doing, like, you know, the gathering and stuff, and just hunting a lot. But to me, it just always felt like I'd never had enough. Oh crap, I missed the thing. That's crazy. But in Rise, and a little bit of World too, like it's like I always have enough materials and it's always too much. So in the end game, I didn't Wyvern ride too much. I mean, the damage is nice, but for the materials, didn't really do it for that. Throw a mud beetle at him that I've been holding on to since 1907. It's gotta be getting low. I was playing World a minute ago and I almost tried to clutch claw this thing. We've also got Primordial Mousy now, which was, I believe, a bonus update for this game. It wasn't even like, oh, you heard me talking shit. Actually, I didn't really do anything. He just kind of looked at me. Yeah, Primordial Mousy is pretty cool. Oh, did she cut the tail off? Very impressive. I have not done almost any damage to that thing. Combination of the cats, the doggos, and Fiore. One of them just been all her. Alright, he's moseying. He's moseying on. Speaking of which, that's another game I was trying to play recently was Final Fantasy VII Rebirth. I've already mentioned several times how I like Maximilian Dude's content. And he got me very hyped for 7 Remake, which was a great time. Great game, fun story. Very interesting overall. And I kind of got off of it for a while, and then Rebirth came out. It's like, alright, I'll give it a shot. But again, it was that open world, like, it had very similar, like, Ubisoft. I don't know if I'd call them Ubisoft mechanics, but just open world stuff that's just been done to death at this point. And the open world isn't bad. It's just a lot. Like, I decided I was going to do all the open world stuff, which you don't have to do in that game. But it kind of pushes you in that direction. And now I'm at it's like 112 hours, and I just now got to the Temple of the Ancients. And I'm pretty sure, I've definitely heard some spoilers about the game, about what happens. I'm pretty sure the game ends when you get over to the City of the Ancients. So I'm pretty close. I'm getting there. Last I checked, I was doing Aerith section on Temple of the Ancients. But overall, the game is, very fan servicey, which is what I like about it. It brings Vincent to the fray and Sid. And Yuffie was introduced in Intergrade, but technically, lore-wise, she was only supposed to be seen in technically around. For that reactor, you go to in Gongaga, technically, going by the original. Oh, I'm gonna get hit here. Yep. They're like, you messed up! Reminds me of the, I've also watched a lot of Rage Gaming content. And it was in their Generations Ultimate Pro Noob. You got the Raptor Quartet. They have he has very good editing in that series. I've watched almost all their Pro and noob stuff. And I want to keep watching it. But I love him to death. I like Rage and I like Cotton. But Rage's laugh just, oh god. I'm glad he laughs a lot. And I'm very happy for him. I do not like the sound of his laugh. It's not me trying to be mean or anything, I'm just being honest. I like all the content, I love Cotton, I love Rage, I love how enthusiastic they are about the series. But good lord, Rage is just, I don't know, maybe it's a sensory thing. Like stimulation-wise. Because when he laughs, it's just so loud. That's not to harp on him, his content is amazing. Please go watch his stuff. I would highly recommend it. His pro noob stuff, especially the original world playthrough with him and Cotton, is awesome. them going back and playing 3 Ultimate. Couldn't really get into the stories content, though that's more of just not a big fan of stories in general. I've tried to play Monster Hunter Stories, 2 specifically, several times. Also, GG on the Malzeno run. Stories 2 several times, and I just maybe it's because it's on the Switch and the frame rate's just not there. But I just can't get into it. The story's alright, the combat's, it's alright. When I think of like peak turn-based combat, I think of Persona 5. That felt amazing in my personal opinion. Stories 2 it's a very in-depth combat system, which I'm happy for, but otherwise I just can't get into it. But anyways, that's it for this video. Thank you guys for watching.